E-Magazine presents the 1804 Chanlatte Fils Address to the citizens of Haiti. Most likely, he is Juste Chanlatte's son or relative. The momentous event, which again takes place in our country, so subject to vicissitudes, is such a nature as will particularly attract the attention of the old continent. In its folds, our future destinies are involved, and it demands our most vigilant attention to preserve to posterity the attitude which the oppression of the French has compelled us to assume by repelling every encroachment to tyranny. Self-preservation, a desire coeval, or that goes together with existence. Resistance to oppression, our first duty, our most natural right, have placed weapons into our hands, and thanks to the Almighty, whose will is not the destruction of the innocent, our oppressors have dispersed before our native troops, as does the impure mist at dawn before sunrise. Never, indeed, did a cause more laudable, more sacred, inspire heroism, nor an enemy ever more bastardly, more perfidious, or more bloodthirsty appear than the French. As for me, I think I see their first arrival at our coast, and who doubts not but the enthusiasm of freedom emanating from their breath would pervade our most distant shores. The only remedy they could offer for the abominations with which they have defaced the face of Europe. This nation, without doubt, ancient and experienced, and denominating itself refined, will inevitably hold forth to our infant people the example of their virtues, of their generosity and moderation. But no, what stain to mankind and humanity, insinuating with designs, their snares are laid with art, in a way that leads to destruction, to death, and in which they flattered themselves to ensnare our credulous simplicity is strewed with flowers. Now insolent and vain, they assume the rod of dominion, and contend for the property of our persons. But familiarized with crime and skillful in its perpetration, their first attempt is directed against those heroes who, proud of their independence and pursuing with indignation the gold taken from the Spaniards and the English, sprinkled with their blood the tricolored standard of freedom. And now, when clotted with the blood of their countrymen and dripping with its dearest gore, they meditate a universal carnage, another Saint Bartholomew. The earth now opens with regret to receive in her lacerated bosom the children she had borne and that she had so proudly nurtured, and whom but a few hours before she had beheld in all the pride of manhood, while in the cargo holds of certain vessels, prepared with diabolical art, our trembling virgins, our children, smiling on the breasts of their distressed mothers, our wives, our matrons, are stifled with the fumes of sulfur Behold, as yet our shores are daily covered with the bodies which the ocean itself, delivering up disdain to conceal. Even now, if respecting neither age nor sex, had they at once terminated an existence they judged incompatible with their views. But no, torments alone can glut them. Those who, by an unjust transportation, have seen themselves torn from their tenderest, their dearest connections, condemned to most bitter slavery, eke out a miserable existence. Some of these, under the ignominious badge of galley slaves, chained to the oar, are carelessly invoking death to put an end at once to their misery and shame. Others, under the impending scourge of a pitiless and vigilant taskmaster, are daily exhausting the small remains of vigor left in them by the battles of their country. Others banished to Ajaccio. Ajaccio is a port city, capital of Corsica, and birthplace of Napoleon. In the miseries of oppression, can find consolation only in their virtue and from the pleasing testimony of a well-spent life. Others, again, basely sold by the orders of a government, boasting about freedom, from the bottom of minds, are condemned to explore, vainly left their supplicating hands, enfeebled and debased by servitude to a country which, alas, they must never see again. Others, in fine, miraculously snatched from these evils and scattered over the various parts of the globe, display to the eye of indifference their miseries and woes, leaving to a God of retribution the care of their vengeance and the means of returning to their native soil. What then is our crime? Of what have we been guilty to entail upon us so general a proscription? Shall the name of African, to be sprung from an African, to be a perpetual stigma, the mark of indelible opprobrium? Shall the color of our faces be alone the seal of eternal reprobation? Does the black or yellow stain that you see in our foreheads put a stop to the progress of arts, to virtue, to courage? Has it prevented our rising superior to those who, because we are black, think us their inferiors? Henceforth, let this ideal, this unworthy privilege be obliterated. The Almighty, when He peopled the world, said to no one race or set of men, destroy you that race. The French look down upon us. They are our superiors. They are who they are. To them, we are Negroes. But let us show them we are superior to them in courage, in greatness of our soul, but above all, in attachment to our country. Let their country, a slave this day to a foreign, unjust and ambitious master, learn from one peopled by savages of the secret about what it is to be free. We are deemed unworthy of their equality. So be it. Let the decree fall upon their own heads. We in our turn, prefer to be perfidious, this treacherous enemy. In our turn, let us thunder against it our anathemas. The French think of us fit only to live in woods. So be it. Sons of the defart, children of misfortune, why do we delay? Let us take up our residence in our inaccessible retreats, most likely the mountains. It is there we shall be invincible. Oh, it's there where the tutelar deity of Haiti calls to him his beloved children. At a resolution so generous, the pledges to our brethren, the bones of the martyrs of our freedom reanimate. There our arsenals, our weapons, our provisions, our resources, our families will be immediately under the protection of nature and of God. Let our towns, if a while for any momentary advantage they have suffered to exist, be sacrifices at the moment of invasion. Let the standard which we have consecrated, the only one we ought ever to have raised, to be strong, the indivisible chain around which a nation of brethren are ever ready to unite. In this position placed by necessity the most imperious of laws, woe to the unfortunate who should attempt to disturb the union and harmony which should reign among us. Let him, like the parasitical and venomous vine, be extirpated from society. Far, far from hence, the spirit of discord and division, which by slow yet sure degrees undermines the best consolidated states. Freed from the shackles of our ancient nature and thrown into this new career of being, let us not for a moment forget that in the defeat of our enemies we have drowned in their blood every sentiment of hatred and discord. But above all, faithful to the laws of discipline and subordination, let us live and die under the command of the precious and intrepid chief, Dessalines, whom heaven has appointed over us. There is a virtue, the source of happiness and prosperity to states, that we should scrupulously revere. It is good faith in our treaties, the religious observance of our promises, and fidelity in fulfilling our engagements abroad. Little are our ambitions of intermingling in the affairs of neighboring powers. Let us here swear never to molest them in their possessions, but to confine ourselves alone to the preservation of our own. Then shall the island of Haiti, after seeing its bowels torn out by its children, after having been consumed by its own ruins, like the phoenix, again rise from its ashes, more beautiful and resplendent than ever. Long live the independence of Haiti. Long live the Governor General. Signed, Chanlatte Fils